Chapter 1. Birth of a Voidwalker. Within the Ebon Nexus, every 1,000 cycles of the central galaxy's oldest star, a unique event occurs: the convergence. This event draws together the energies of countless cosmic entities, stars, black holes, nebulae, and even the dark matter that binds the universe. The convergence is a moment of tremendous power and significance, a cataclysmic event that gives birth to a new Voidwalker. Eon, the newly born Voidwalker, emerges from this storm of cosmic energy. Unlike other beings who must learn and grow over time, Eon is born with the accumulated knowledge of the Voidwalkers. Yet despite this, Eon is young and inexperienced, lacking the wisdom that only comes from eons of observation and understanding. As Eon takes form, a shimmering entity of pure energy, fluctuating in and out of multiple dimensions, the elder Voidwalkers begin to communicate with them. The communication is not through words or symbols, but through a deep telepathic connection that conveys thoughts, emotions, and knowledge all at once. The elders impart to Eon the sacred duty of the Voidwalkers, to maintain the balance of the universe. Eon is shown visions of the galaxy, of the countless civilizations that rise and fall, and the cosmic forces that shape reality. Eon learns that the balance is delicate, and even a small disruption can have catastrophic consequences. The Voidwalkers are not deities or rulers. They are guardians. Their power is immense, but it is tempered by a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. Eon is taught that their role is not to judge or rule, but to observe and, when necessary, to act in the interests of balance. Chapter 2. The Web of Existence. As Eon begins their journey through the cosmic drift, they are struck by the sheer complexity and beauty of the galaxy. The galaxy is not merely a collection of stars and planets, it is a vast interconnected web of energy and matter, where every action has a consequence. Eon can see the flow of energy through the galaxy, the way it pulses and shifts, creating and sustaining life across countless worlds. Eon visits worlds teeming with life, from the lush jungles of Arboreal Prime, where the native flora and fauna have developed a complex symbiotic relationship, to the icebound planet of Cryos, where crystalline entities live in perfect harmony with their frozen environment. On each world, Eon witnesses the delicate balance that sustains life, and the constant struggle to maintain that balance in the face of entropy and decay. But not all is harmonious. Eon also sees the darker side of existence: the wars, the extinctions, the destruction wrought by greed and fear. Eon understands that these events, too, are part of the natural order, but there is a difference between natural death and unnecessary devastation. It is during these observations that Eon becomes aware of the Kerithar, a highly advanced civilization of crystalline beings living on the planet Threesiar. The Kerithar are driven by an insatiable curiosity and a desire to understand the universe. Their crystalline bodies allow them to manipulate energy in ways that most species cannot comprehend, and they have developed technologies that harness the power of stars and even black holes. However, Eon senses a growing imbalance in the Kerithar's activities. Their experiments with black holes, though ingenious, have the potential to disrupt the cosmic drift in ways that could lead to catastrophic consequences. Eon feels a deep connection to the Kerithar, a mixture of admiration and concern, and begins to watch them more closely. Chapter 3. The Choice. The Kerithar's experiments become increasingly bold and dangerous. They have developed a method to artificially collapse stars into black holes, harnessing the resulting energy to power their vast cities and fuel their expansion into the galaxy. While this has brought them great power, it has also led them down a perilous path. In the Ebon Nexus, the Voidwalkers convene to discuss the Kerithar's actions. The elder Voidwalkers are divided on how to proceed. Some argue that the Kerithar's experiments are a natural part of their evolution, and that interference would be a violation of the Voidwalker's oath to observe rather than dictate the course of events. Others, however, fear that the Kerithar are tampering with forces they do not fully understand, and that their actions could destabilize the entire region of space. Eon, still young and idealistic, finds themselves torn. On the one hand, Eon understands the importance of allowing civilizations to learn and grow through their own experiences. On the other hand, Eon can see the potential for disaster if the Karethar continue on their current path. Unable to remain passive, Eon decides to act. Without the approval of the elders, Eon travels to Thrysiar, manifesting in a form that the Karethar can perceive, a towering crystalline figure of light, mirroring their own appearance. Eon's presence is both awe-inspiring and terrifying to the Karethar. They perceive Eon as a being of immense power, perhaps even a deity. The Karethar's leaders are both fascinated and fearful. They have long sought to understand the deeper mysteries of the universe, and now one of those mysteries has appeared before them. Eon does not speak in words, but instead sends a telepathic message to the Karethar, a warning that resonates deep within their minds. You are on the verge of destruction. Your knowledge is great, but your wisdom is lacking. Abandon this path, or face the consequences of your actions. The Karethar are divided. Some, led by the wise and cautious elder Chrysalith, wish to heed the warning. They understand that they are treading dangerous ground and believe that there are other, safer ways to achieve their goals. Others, however, driven by ambition and the desire for power, see Eon's warning as a challenge. They argue that if they can harness the power of black holes, they can control the very fabric of the universe, becoming masters of their own destiny. As the debate rages among the Karethar, Eon remains, a silent witness to their inner conflict. Eon can sense the fear and doubt within the Karethar, but also the burning desire for knowledge and power. It is a choice that will define the future of their civilization and possibly the galaxy. Chapter 4. The Intervention. The Karethar, in their hubris, decide to proceed with their most ambitious experiment yet. They target a dying star in a neighboring system, intending to collapse it into a controlled black hole. Their calculations are precise, their technology advanced, but they fail to consider the full implications of their actions. The dying star is not just any star, it is a keystone in the gravitational network that stabilizes the entire quadrant of the galaxy. Its collapse will not only create a black hole, but could also trigger a chain reaction that destabilizes neighboring star systems, potentially leading to the collapse of entire planetary systems. As the Karethar prepare for the experiment, Eon feels a sense of urgency. The elders of the Voidwalkers, sensing the impending disaster, prepare to intervene directly. The Voidwalkers have rarely interfered so overtly in the affairs of a single species, but the stakes are too high to ignore. Eon, feeling the weight of responsibility, takes a decisive action. Using their immense control over cosmic energies, Eon subtly alters the Karethar's experiment, redirecting the energy they had amassed into a distant, barren region of space. The dying star remains intact, and the quadrant is spared from catastrophe. The Karethar are initially unaware of Eon's intervention. When they realize that their experiment has failed, they are confused and dismayed. Some believe that they made a mistake in their calculations. Others suspect that Eon had a hand in the outcome. Regardless, the failure of the experiment has a profound impact on the Karethar. It forces them to confront the limits of their knowledge and the dangers of their ambition. Eon's actions do not go unnoticed by the elder Voidwalkers. While they understand the necessity of what Eon did, they are concerned about the implications. The Voidwalkers are meant to be impartial guardians of balance, not active participants in the affairs of other beings. By intervening, Eon has set a precedent that could have far-reaching consequences. Chapter 5. The Resolution. The Karethar, shaken by the near disaster and the appearance of the Voidwalker, begin to question the path they have chosen. Elder Chrysalith, who had always advocated caution, gains influence among the Karethar leadership. Under Chrysalith's guidance, the Karethar abandon their experiments with black holes and turn their attention to other, less destructive forms of energy manipulation. They return to their pursuit of knowledge, but with a newfound humility and a deeper respect for the forces of the universe. They continue to advance, but always with the memory of the Voidwalker's warning in their minds. The Karethar learn that there is more to wisdom than simply accumulating knowledge. It is also about understanding the consequences of one's actions and the responsibility that comes with power. Eon, meanwhile, returns to the Eben Nexus, where the Elder Voidwalkers await. The Elders welcome Eon back, but there is an unspoken tension in the air. The experience has taught Eon a valuable lesson. The balance they protect is not just about preventing destruction, but also about guiding life in a way that allows for growth and evolution without tipping the scales too far in one direction. The Elder Voidwalkers remind Eon of their sacred duty. While Eon's actions were justified, they caution against becoming too involved in the affairs of other species. The universe is a complex and delicate system, and even the smallest interference can have unpredictable consequences. The Voidwalkers must remain vigilant, always considering the long-term effects of their actions. Eon takes these lessons to heart. They understand now that the role of a Voidwalker is not just about wielding power, but about using that power wisely and judiciously. The Voidwalkers must be both guardians and guides, ensuring that the universe remains in balance while allowing civilizations to find their own paths. Epilogue: The Eternal Guardians. The galaxy continues to spin on, a vast and ever-changing tapestry of light and darkness. Civilizations rise and fall, stars are born and die, and the cycle of creation and destruction continues as it has for eons. The Voidwalkers remain in the shadows, ever vigilant, ever patient. They watch over the galaxy, ensuring that the balance is maintained and that the cosmic drift flows smoothly. They intervene only when absolutely necessary, always striving to preserve the harmony of the universe. Eon, now older and wiser, walks the void alongside the Elder Voidwalkers. They have learned that the true power of the Voidwalkers lies not in their ability to manipulate the forces of the universe, but in their understanding of those forces and their commitment to maintaining the delicate balance that sustains all life. The Krithar, now more cautious and reflective, continue their pursuit of knowledge, but always with an eye toward the greater good. They have become a force for stability in the galaxy, using their advanced technology to help other civilizations while avoiding the hubris that nearly led to their downfall. And so, the galaxy remains in balance, a delicate dance of light and darkness, creation and destruction. The Voidwalkers, guardians of the cosmic drift, continue their watch, ensuring that the universe remains in harmony until the end of time itself. In the vast silence of the null expanse, the Voidwalkers walk the void, unseen and unknown by most, but always present, the eternal guardians of the balance.